I think a lot of us know this, that attention problems and ADHD have been on the rise in our schools over the last decade, and the problem could stem actually from vision problems.
Dr. Amy Thomas from Arizona Vision Therapy Center is back to discuss how eye health can play a role in these attention problems. Dr. Thomas, thanks for coming back.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. So how is ADHD, we're starting with the attention disorders, how is that typically diagnosed in America?
Okay, so typically it's pediatricians, psychologists, psychiatrists. They go through and they bring out a questionnaire for the teachers, the parents, and anybody that's involved, and they find out certain behavior patterns that occur with ADHD, and they say, you've got ADHD. Something I would love to suggest is to try to look for other sources of the problem, the root cause, and one of those may actually be vision. And sensory integration type stuff. So the one thing I put together, the CDC, Center for, what is it?
Disease
Control, the CDC. They came up with the criteria for ADHD. There's a lot more than what I'm putting in here, but I'm going over 5 of the typical ones that you can actually see as a vision problem too.
That's right. We're going to boil it down to sort of 5 of them, right? So starting with the first criteria, which is a child often fails to give close attention to details or makes careless mistakes.
Okay, yes. That's one with the double vision simulation. Do you guys have that one?
Yeah, they'll pull it up.
Pull it up? Okay. So there's that double vision right there. So when you're having a lot of problems lining your eyes up and trying to get them to land in the same exact place, you end up with double vision, and it actually causes headaches and strain when you're doing it. So you tend not to want to be in there for very long. Now the part that confuses a lot of people is it's not always like this. When you're very interested, very motivated in what you're learning, you got lots of energy going on, which is where Ritalin and Adderall all come in. They give you more energy to do this. Then you can get it together and you can make these words nice and single. But the second you get tired, disinterested, anything like that, distracted, then they start to spread back out.
Yes,
okay.
I can see that. And so the second criteria.
Okay, all right. So that's where they have problems holding the attention on tasks or play activities. Okay, so this is where I'm going to show the pen activity. You guys get to put this up there. Okay. All right, there you go. All right, you got it? All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to put this pen right up next to your nose, right about 3 inches away, and I want you to keep staring at the tip of that thing right there. Keep it single, and I want you to turn your head, okay, and I want you to look around. You notice how you get just a little bit dizzy and things just don't feel right as you're trying to pay attention to things behind you? That's what somebody with these vision problems feels like all the time. So bring it way up close to your nose, about 3 inches away.
Oh my gosh.
It's hard to believe.
So, yeah, so that feeling right there makes them not want to change quickly. Or they don't like to engage in things very well. So they're always looking for the squirrel, they're always looking for something else.
Third criteria, often does not seem to listen when spoken to directly.
Ah, yes. Okay, so when there's vision problems, it is very frequently difficult to link the vision and the hearing together. Just like a movie where you're hearing the words and you're seeing the lips move at a different pace.
Okay,
that's very aggravating. Yeah.
That's a really good way of thinking about it.
Yeah, and they end up really not being able to pay attention in class. They have to shut something down.
I would think as a parent, we may think that, you know, that just comes along with the territory. We wouldn't necessarily attribute it to vision.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're seeing here an example on the screen.
Okay, all right, this one right here is if they don't follow through in instructions and fail to finish schoolwork, chores, and duties. It tends to be a lot of problems with tracking. So right here, this is an example of when your eyes aren't landing in the exact place that you want them to land. So just trying to read through instructions. This one right here says, come on, said Betsy, we have to pick up this corn. And instead of them being able to quickly say, oh, that's what I need to do, I got it figured out, they have to spend a lot of time decoding the message.
Yes.
And this isn't just visually, this is auditorial, this is all kinds of ways. So it takes a lot more time to process the information, and they end up
that's hard.
losing attention.
And a lot of times they can't articulate what's going on with them, so it's good to be able to check into it. Fifth but not least, often has trouble organizing tasks and activities.
Okay, so what ends up happening is when there's a vision problem, they tend to try to ignore the peripheral part of the vision and try to just hang on to the what is it part. Well, the second you do this, you have to use your memory as you're scanning across the room. So say you're trying to clean your room and you say, okay, oh, there's a sock and that sock needs to go in that hamper over there. Okay, I'm gonna go pick up that sock. Where did that sock go? And then they pick it up, and then where did that hamper go? And then they have to use their memory a lot to get the organizational process
because you're not
going.
getting the full picture.
Yes, yeah.
Literally.
So once you get the vision fixed, then all of a sudden you notice the organizational skills pick up.
So important for these parents to recognize this in their children, because again, you know, we're talking about cleaning their room and not finishing it up. Again, you think as a parent, this is normal for a kid.
That's right. And we always say this, but regular eye exams just don't pick up on this.
Right, exactly.
So see a specialist.
So a specialist, yes. So what I did was on our webpage, azvisiontherapy.com. We have a vision report card. Your best bet on that one is to call up your eye doctor and say, hey, do you cover this? So it's focusing skills, tracking skills, fusing skills, depth perception. If your doctor is not comfortable working with those skills, then you're going to get referred to a specialist that works with this, so a developmental optometrist. Or you can also go straight to the developmental optometrist. There's 3 in Tucson, and you just go in there, you do the exam, and you find out a whole bunch of cool things about your kid or yourself, about how the person actually processes the vision and acts on it.
It's all about
How they can learn.
improving our lives.
Exactly,
Dr.
yep.
Thomas, thanks for being here.
Thank you,
you.
doctor.
All right.
The next Children and Adults with Attention Deficit is this Thursday from 7 to 8:30 p.m. at St. Cyril Church on Pima and Swan. You can also get $100 off a visual skills exam. And if you'd like to find out more information on everything that we talked about today, you can visit azvisiontherapy.com or give them a call at 520-886-8800.